Hello everyone, welcome to another NR replay video. So today we have SC43 versus Book of Moon. SC43 is on the bottom playing Tindangle, Geralt, Needle Sealing, Fiend Griefing, Paleozoic Dinomicious, backup team, 40 card deck. We have Book of Moon up top, who's open Network Trap Hole, Zaphion, Fractal, House of Wax, and Nerval. So also playing 40 cards. This game was recorded at NRCS number 9, which concluded this past weekend. And it is the lower bracket finals, and this is game 2. So game 1 was won by SC, and now we are in game 2. So Book of Moon needs to win this to tie the series to eventually try and win the whole series in game 3. So let's see. Book of Moon is gonna go first. Activates the Fractal, goes through the line. Searches with the Nerval, just grabs another copy. Okay, interesting. So choosing to just set the Network Trap Hole and pass, not committing with the Tri-Brigade Fractal or the Nerval at this moment. I think that's because they want to keep their field empty for Zaphion, bait the opponent into setting a lot of back row and then just shuffle it all away with the Zaphion. Also maybe trying to bait the opponent into hitting it directly and then activating House of Wax. So a lot of plays to be made here. Alright. SC now draws into a puppetry. Activates with Jarell, dumps the backup team, dumps the intruder. Sets 3 and passes. Book of Moon draws into a Sprite Red now. Normals the Zaphion, but SC does have the Dinomicious to immediately deal with the Zaphion. And Book of Moon still choosing not to commit to the field, so not even activating the Fractal to get another search. I personally would have liked to see some sort of commitment, you know, try to hit over the Geralt with the Daruma doll, because that would have allowed him to get back one of these monsters and put some sort of pressure on the opponent, even like get a Sprite Red into rotation. You know, monster negates are always really good to have. However, Book of Moon may have felt that this House of Wax is the key to his success here, so just choosing to bait the opponent into summoning a lot more monsters before they commit to the board themselves. Also, I guess Book of Moon knows that SC is playing Needle Sealing and doesn't want to risk losing to it, so understandable why they chose not to commit here. But at some point they have to commit to the board. Like, they can't just wait for SC to start searching and amassing an advantage. So dump the Fiendish Rhino, which dumps the Toddler, which sets itself back. This is the standard play for this Tindangle deck that is pretty much the reason why this deck has achieved success. Now choosing to activate the Network Trap Hole to banish the Intruder, so Intruder cannot get its search. Just flip up the Jarell to just search another Intruder and gets the search anyways, so we'll dump the Deloane. Now flips Toddler and dumps the Diabolica, which adds back the Jarell. Links 2 for Haggard Lizardos and chooses to activate it. Okay, so SC could have gone to battle phase. He has an 800 attack monster and a 2200 attack monster. Get in for some damage. However, SC knows that Book of Moon is playing Emissary from the House of Wax, and so SC is also, just like Book of Moon is playing around Needle Sealing, SC is now playing around House of Wax, and he's not going to commit to an attack until he knows he has a way to deal with it. Now uses the Jurel, dumps the Angels. So that means that now SC has 3 Tindangle monsters with different names in rotation, which means the Deloane is live. Book of Moon now finally commits to the board, summons a Daruma doll. Links 3 for Triple Burst Dragon. Really strong card against flip decks. We'll go to the battle phase. The Jarell gets negated by the Triple Burst. Deals a bit of damage as well. And notably does not play into the Needle Sealing. Now activates the Karas, chaining the Fiend Griefing. Okay, so I bet what SC is gonna do here is use the Fiend Griefing to send the Toddler, which would then set itself back to the field, and when Book of Moon summons the Keras, that would be 4 monsters on the field. So, yep, dumps the toddler. Summons the Keras. Now the toddler activates to summon itself. So right here, there's 4 monsters on the field. This is the prime opportunity for SC to needle sealing. Bukamoon activates Fractal. Not choosing to needle sealing just yet. Okay, I think SC should have needle sealing before this Keras ever had a chance to activate. Now chooses to needle sealing. Okay, so this is probably a misplay on SC's part, because that Fractal that Bukamoon activated in hand, it was not a trigger effect, it's an ignition effect. So SC had the opportunity to Bukamoon before to needle sealing Bukamoon. And then when he saw that Kit dumped a Rendezvous has an effect from the graveyard where it can protect your linked Beast Warrior, and Winged Beast monsters. So what's gonna happen now is, if he allowed Bukamoon to summon with this Keras, he could summon a Rugal. The Rugal would be pointed to by the triple burst, and the Rugal itself would point to the Keras. So both the Rugal and the Keras would be protected by the Rendezvous. So now SC is forced to needle sealing essentially. But if SC needle sealing before the Keras ever triggered, then he would have gotten the Keras off, and Bukamoon would not be allowed to summon a monster here. So pops the field, does not pop the face down, and now Bukamoon gets a Doom Eagle. And Doom Eagle is a really strong card against this deck, because this deck wants to put monsters in the graveyard. So Diabolical triggers because a Fiend monster was sent to the graveyard. End phase now, SC finally pops the Delawane to set back 3 monsters. Bukamoon chooses to hit the Intruder. Personally, I would have liked him to hit the Angel, because the Angel is a 1-of, while the Intruder is generally a 3-of, or sometimes they play 2, but Angel is the bigger card because it is essentially like a Falco, where it sets back a flip monster from the graveyard. And then I'll show you next turn why that matters. So Doom Eagle now just shuffles back the Intruder, so at least they don't get that effect. Angel now summons itself as well. Draws a Toddler off the top, so Toddler dumps Intruder, so they just pretty much dumped whatever they needed. Adds the Shadow Dragon. Now links into the Goblin Biker. So this is the combo here. This Goblin Biker has the effect where if a monster is summoned to the field, it can immediately change its battle position. So now flips up that Angel, which summons back the Intruder. And the Goblin Biker can now immediately flip up the Intruder. So if this Angel was shuffled back, then SC would not have this play. And now normal summons the Dragon, goes for a rank 4 as well. So this is another thing. If this Angel was shuffled back, SC would not have the other level 4 monster to be able to go for a Sophiel. So it was basically a misplay by Bukamoon to not shuffle back the Angel. Now SC deals with the Doom Eagle and is gonna attack for gain, but Bukamoon has the House of Wax. Now House of Wax cannot be destroyed by battle, and at the end of the battle phase it negates all the monsters, and these monsters cannot be used for anything, like no link summoning, no synchros, no XYZs. So these are essentially useless monsters. They can be tributed over, but SC would need to find a tribute summonable monster, and they stay negated until SC's next battle phase. So this is like a soft Mystic Mind block essentially. The Bukamoon finds an MST off the top, cannot convert the advantage just yet. Okay. SC chooses to set the Toddler here. I think I know why. So what SC's plan here probably is to flip the Toddler, send a Soul Scissors. Soul Scissors, when a monster is destroyed in the field, it can summon itself and destroy a monster on the field. However, this House of Wax being in defense position means that SC cannot crash into it just yet. So needs Bukamoon to commit to the field first. And Yep, chooses not even to flip the toddler yet. So just waiting for Bookamoon to commit to the field and attack position monster, which Bookamoon does do now. Goes through the line to summon a Rugal. Kit now dumps a Nerval. Nerval is going to search for a Keris. Hits over the Assaultiel. So now Bookamoon, but SC just hard finds the soldiers anyways, so not even triggering the toddler. Now goes for Haggard Lizardos, reducing the attack of the Rugal, getting a draw as well. Rugal now summons back the Nerval. Diabolica hits into the Rugal, which triggers the Soul Scissors to finally deal with the House of Wax. Not choosing to attack into the Nerval. That is because, first of all, Nerval would get a search, but mainly, SC dealt with one House of Wax. I think he realizes he doesn't have any other way of dealing with a House of Wax, because now the Soul Scissors is banished. But SC does have the puppetry in the graveyard to recycle the Soul Scissors. Okay, so now he gets back the anti-House of Wax card, essentially. So summons the Jirel, summons the Intruder, and just passes there. So SC still in a commanding lead at this point. Also has the set Dinomischus to deal with any monsters that Bookamoon may try. So goes for the Keris now. Links 3 for Doom Eagle. Specials the Sprite Red. Goes for an XYZ for Mannequin Cat. Ooh, triggers the Goblin Biker, which all of the Goblin XYZs, they can detach from other monsters on the field, by the way, so really good cards. Mannequin Cat now revives back the Toddler and summons back a Triple Burst again, so now Bookamoon is coming back into this game. Activates the Goblin Biker to negate the attack of the Doom Eagle so the Codebreaker does not get destroyed. Hits over the Toddler. Triggers the Daruma Doll to just recycle another one. Now hits over the Goblin Biker. Tries to hit over the Intruder, which would have, and because the Triple Burst pierces, it would have dealt 2400 damage and negated the Intruder, but SC did have the Dinomischus, so SC finding the trap cards at the right moments. Now Bookamoon links into the Pit Knight early. Flips up both monsters, does not activate either of their effects. So now SC is in trouble because if he chose not to activate their effects, that means that the deck is running out of resources basically. And he's down to 16 cards already. So SC is starting to struggle, it seems like, even though he has the advantage. Now Mannequin Cat summons a Sprite Pixies to save the Pit Knight early. Oh, this is cute. Uses the Doom Eagle, targeting whatever card in the opponent's graveyard to then chain the Pit Knight early. And SC has no way to chain block this. And puts the Triple Burst to 0, so Triple Burst can't beat over the Mannequin Cat. Interesting. Hits over the Pit Knight early, but yep, it just comes back in the end phase, so as Bookamoon now sort of has turned the advantage in his favor, has 2 House of Wax in his hand, which I don't know how SC will deal with those. Summons another Daruma Doll, shuffles back a monster. SC will now activate Fiend Griefing. Sends the Soul Scissors, so Bookamoon has already used his Doom Eagle, so they cannot deal with the Soul Scissors. Bookamoon will still go to the battle phase, hits over the Triple Burst, which does trigger the Soul Scissors now, which deals with the Doom Eagle, but Bookamoon has the Rendezvous in the graveyard to protect. Now banishes the Soul Scissors, banishes the Diabolica. SC has gone from a commanding position to now struggling, has to find an answer to this board now. Draws a Puppetry, which is useless without a discard. Activates the backup team, summons the Dinomischus. Doesn't find anything off the top. Now trigger the Mannequin Cat. Will link off the Dino Mishes for the Imduck, so can deal with... Unfortunately though, that is the end of the game. Could deal with the Tenyi, but next turn he probably died. He did not draw into any disruption, and that Dino Mishes did not have a discard, so very well played to Book of Moon. The House of Wax essentially saved the game, allowed him to draw into his engine again, and SC was basically Mystic Mine for the duration of it. So, really good game. Let's look at the deck profiles. Alright, so first of all, we're gonna look at SC's deck. Basically playing Tindangles and using the Toddler to search for all the different fiend pieces in this deck. Also playing the notorious Needle Ceiling, which pairs really well with the Flip Monsters, using Succession and Dark Factory to just search through the whole deck and immediately get the strategy online. Also hits the opponent's graveyard really hard with Fiend Griefing and Dark Puppetry at 3 copies each. So really solid deck. And if you want to know what happened, SC did end up winning game 3 and then eventually beat me in the finals to win the NRCS with this deck. So a really solid deck and a really great player. So we're here with Book of Moon's deck, essentially just playing Melfi Tri-Brigade, but also using a bunch of tech cards that are specifically meant to hit cards that want to activate in the graveyard and back row deck. So playing the Zaphion to hit the back row, playing the Network Trap Hole to specifically hit Delawane, because Delawane summons back 3 monsters. You can immediately banish them face down, and it's a really powerful card. However, he did lose to SC in the 3rd game, just couldn't find his engine, and that he ended the tournament in 3rd place. So still a really good build by Book of Moon, and well played to him for winning this game though. And that's it for today. As always, if you enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like, and if you want more NR content, please be sure to subscribe as well. For now though, adios.